Hi all, Butley here. I'm with Patch again today. How you doing, Patch?
Oh, I am here with you again today.
Yes. Still today, still with me, still here. Good job. We are playing Tactics Ogre. We're continuing our journey. We're going on. The reason I'm hushing and hurrying is I have to ask Patch a question.
Okay.
The question is how good are you at voice acting?
Not very, but I'm okay at improvising.
Can you be an evil bad guy?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, you can do the voice acting of the evil bad guy, and you'll know who it is. You'll know which one's the bad guy when you see him.
Can I get a hint to what class they are so I can mentally prepare?
They
are they like a fighting class or
fighting class definitely, and male. And the other question is, can you do a female voice? Because
no,
we need
but
two
I can
females,
pretend.
and I don't think I can muster two female voices.
Oh boy.
So the two females are Katua and RSL. Which one do you think you would be more capable of? You've got 30 seconds to think about it.
Which one do you want to be?
Oh god, I don't even know. I don't want to make them sound stupid, I want to make them sound strong and independent, so I've got no hope of getting this right.
Oh god.
This is the thing we should have pre-planned, but it's way more hilarious doing it on the fly.
My gut is telling me RSL, so I'm gonna go against that and say I'll do Katua.
Okay. And I'll do Butley as well, obviously.
Okay, and I'll do a falsetto as best I can.
I don't know what a falsetto is, so I'm learning.
A high pitch. Oh,
there's no one here. Strange. Perhaps they've already joined the others in the Sony Wield. What? Impossible!
Good to see you again, Butley, and looking so well. I worried some second-rate headhunter had done for you. Okay. What are you doing here? The Holy Knight Lancelot, where is he?
Vice, what business have you here? I thought you were in the Sony Wield.
And I thought you were dead, RSL. Guess we were both wrong.
This is so bad. I gotta tighten that up a bit. She might change a bit.
They say you ignored Leonard's orders and chased down Butley. But this? So that's the way of it. Turn traitor, have you? Fool woman, you choose the losing side.
I choose no side until I've judged for myself who the traitors among us truly are. So bad. I'm so sorry. What are you doing here, Vice? Where's Lancelot?
This is your voice. Ha ha! All these years and you still surprise me. I did not think false whispers would lure you so easily. Your Zenobian's not here. No doubt he's in Rhyme by now, deep in his cups.
I have no idea what that means, by the way.
Line. Sorry you won't be joining them, but you die here.
I love this bit too, like the character, they start more units creep out.
Duke's orders. None with eyes at Balmusa are to live.
What?
You too, RSL. If the truth were to get out, it would mean no end of trouble.
You were at Palmamusa, Vice? I can't do it. So
Pick
bad.
a voice! That was I, with your beloved Leonard no less, so wait. You knew nothing of what was planned? Not a word?
No, no. Leonard must be mad. Only a lunatic would pay such a price for victory.
Sound a little southern.
I can't do it.
Pity you learned the truth, girl. There'll be no reconciling with Leonard now. You're not one to look the other way. Kill them all, spare no one.
Oh my god.
It's okay. I'm sure if he gets low, he'll use the gem and bail out again.
I'm so sorry to everyone out there who had to listen to me do that.
A life spent hiding from soldiers brings back old times, eh? Ah, fuck this. This is too much. My throat's getting sore. I'm sorry, Vice. You'll have to speak for yourself now.
So we're done? Okay. They do chat through the battle, we can leave it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Only because I don't want to do my parts anymore. I'm so embarrassed now.
Oh, no, it was
I give
fine.
up. Episode F17, the adventure ends through embarrassment and humiliation.
It's a good thing I didn't volunteer to do RSL as well, otherwise I would have basically been talking to myself the entire time, and you just would have been sitting there laughing.
But, like, you can see why I said I couldn't do 2 women. I couldn't even handle 1.
Yeah.
If it was just
I think Vice will...
Butley versus Vice, it'd be cool, but...
Yeah. I'm sure Vice will spare Katua with 2 words. I do.
So, in case us being goofy kind of masked the plot that's going on, he baited us. Which is funny because he knew we got baited. Remember when we went to capture the Duke and we were baited then as well? It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Shame on me.
So Vice kind of tricked us with a strategy he knew would work. And then
I didn't know the Wallaces use golems.
They do now. Also, I feel I apologize to any females watching this video. I really did your gender a disjustice. I usually listen to these videos. I'm not gonna re-listen to this one. I'm just gonna put it up there, and it will be never as bad as I can remember. I'll be like, it wasn't that bad, but I'm sure it is.
Now I need to say something that you need to crop out. Just
God,
so
no.
you have to find it. I have to do like 2 of them in separate instances.
So I have to listen to the whole video.
Yeah.
I went through a 2-hour Sibs video cutting that out. That took me ages.
Yeah,
Just
you
'cause
were
I
a real trooper.
Don't have the right software, and I don't have the right knowledge of how to do it. It took me ages.
Yeah. The right software makes it a breeze, because you just get it on a timeline, you just cut where you need to.
You can sort of do that with what I was doing, but I was like nervous doing that. Like, I don't know. Like I said, the software might have been an issue. I would have needed to go ch and then sort of press the button and prayed that I'd lined up all the sticks to make it work.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a Cyclops here.
Oh, that's not a golem.
Cyclops. No, it's not. It's still a beast
Well,
class, I believe.
That's okay. That's entirely in character for the Wallisters to use. Not golems, Cyclops. That's
Yeah,
just,
that
100%.
He's a mage.
What?
Yep. He's
Who taught this?
He doesn't actually have a lot of health. He's just quite tanky, like the golems. Dragons,
Who
on the other
taught these Who taught these Cyclops how to do dark magic?
Yeah, his first move is Word of Pain. Does that mean they taught him English so he could use that spell? So, Flame Dragon. There's like 4 or 5 types of dragon, and they all have sort of unique specialities, so I think that was suggesting the Flame Dragon is more tanky than some of the others.
Definitely.
Beast Tamer. I think we've seen these before. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Dietrich?
Probably.
Valentine. It's a female Terror Knight, which you've seen.
I can tell by the face.
Well, some of the units obviously look different if they're male or female. And some, like Death Knights, do not. Or Terror Knights.
Honestly, I
rather.
thought Valentine was a male's name.
Oh, maybe it is a male. I don't know. I don't think the female Terror Knight looks any different though. Vice is an
Hey, he
assassin
doesn't have a
class.
crossbow.
Killer of men. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some things are beyond knowing. I like it.
I wanted to know what skills he had. I mean, he probably had the ones we... Ooh.
I went up here
Hello.
last.
No!
Dragoon class.
Panic! It's a dragoon!
And so they get abilities that let them kill dragons and golems and beasts.
Wait, he's lawful. Recruit him.
It's possible. It's actually kind of good. So Dragoon class is a thing that exists.
Hmm. Yeah, dragoons are. I have fears of dragoons of launching into the air and coming flying down with a spear.
Pop!
Yay! Stats
Back.
or stuff.
Who did we rest? Did we rest one of our archers? Yeah, we did, because we have RSL. So the challenge here is obviously RSL, because she doesn't use gems to run away, so she dies, so the challenge is keeping her alive, which seems to be a lot of what we're doing these days.
If she just learned how to kite, she'd be fine, but instead of kiting, like, she does it the wrong way. Instead of taking a shot and stepping back, she takes a shot and steps forward.
She runs forward and shoots someone and then laughs.
Yeah.
And she does destroy most of the team on her own usually, but only because she gets healed to the hell.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So here everyone has a go. This is why I thought it would be funny, but we kind of burnt ourselves out at the front. When everyone gets their turn, they have a go at trying to convince Vice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's mostly just too much strain on my throat, because I chose a very...
We were not ready for this.
Yeah.
See what I was trying to prep Patch for this before the video, but I didn't want to tell him what the plan was, the voice acting, because it wouldn't have been as unique if we didn't just do it on the spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
having said that, I could have practiced my woman voice in the mirror for a bit, but I didn't.
Improving was fun, for the most part.
Maybe if we get an all-male conversation, we can do it better.
Yeah.
Just being more in our comfort zone.
Besides, it's like, this would be good to have done for, like, the first one, where Vice is throwing shit at Canopus.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been a good time to do it, where it's a goofy sort of thing.
There'll be
bit more
exchanges like this
serious.
all the way through, so we'll get some good ones. I'll try and pick... Well, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just try and pick, like, short things that are basically cutscenes in the battlefield that are fun.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mix it up a little. That's why I skimmed through the intro, and I didn't really want to talk about too much about what we're doing, because I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
And again, and if I talk strategy while we're on that, you can see,
sure.
in this one, Canopus is basically going to keep that Dragoon away, and he's going to sit in the back line, because we don't need people rushing forward. We just need to, basically, like you said, kite backwards if we can.
Hey, that archer is helping you, pushing RSL back.
That actually does help. This dragon, I can't decide if I want to take it down or not. I think what happens, and I could be wrong, it's one of these things I've never quite understood. I think the more units you destroy, you don't get more experience, you get experience for winning the challenge. But I think you get more loot the more units you take down. Like we've said, if they drop the sacks on the field, you get that loot. So if you just sort of tunnel for the main person, you don't get much loot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the thing. You can tell in this video I paused through all the conversations to give everyone a bit more time to read and voice them. I thought you did well. Just
no, yeah.
Sustainable. You could never be that evil.
Well, I can be the kind of evil I can
be all
is
kinds
like,
of evil.
I can. My favorite kind of evil is like a posh villain. Not too posh, but like a, you know, definitely a more upper class.
I should have got you
snobby.
to do Nabeth, the necromancer.
That'd be fun. Have you been planning this from the start?
What?
That we were going to do the voices in one of these maps? Or was it a spur of the moment thing?
I think I decided it while I was playing, actually.
Oh, fair enough.
It's a good question. I think I was just playing and I was like, wow, this has like 10 minutes of them just yapping. And I try and think, this is my lame attempt of trying to draw attention from RSL. Bradley, go stand in front of her.
It's the least you can do. What's the most you can do?
Yeah. Act
Wait,
like
why
you're worth
is he
shooting
hurt?
at is the line I'm looking for.
Why was Valentine hurt?
I'm pretty sure RSL shot him.
Oh, right up the back, I guess.
And this sort of stuff makes me laugh. So they've got the big Cyclops, and I'm blocking it with Hadrian and Janus, and they're like the weakest front line. Like, even Canopus would be a better frontline tank because he has more abilities to block and dodge and counterattack. Those two are like fully offensive equal. In fact, Hadrian, I was looking at his abilities. He's actually like, I gave him Spell Strike, which makes him more of a caster Valkyrie than a, well, he's a Rune Fencer. More of a caster and less of a duelist.
Yeah.
The makeshift front line while our knight tries to run off and help RSL.
You mean stop RSL from getting killed?
Yep. Stop her, save her from herself. I love this.
Punch a dragon.
I like to think I know it's because she has the counterattack ability, so she will, and it's supposed to be like if she gets shot, she'll counterattack. But I love the idea that it's like in character for her.
It looked like she was offended.
Yeah, that's right. She punches everyone.
It's like, how dare you, slap?
Water magic. Kind of stuck here because this is why you need meditate. It would have got me an extra few points, and I could have used acid rain, but I couldn't get I kind of screwed up my placing of Hadrian and Johannes. If you ever look, I try and deliberately create angles when I block like that, so I can get those spells through.
Yeah.
Word of Pain, you need line of sight, sort of thing.
The map is pretty impeccably placed, like to form those chokes.
I think it's like that. I think it's supposed to be you zone it, and I love it. There's just, I can't find another game out there that plays like this, in the sense of, like, I keep talking about, like, I send these units over here to deal with that, and those units to go do that, and I create, like, mini teams within the battlefield, you know? Everyone has a job and a role.
You know, a game I think could do that just fine, if only the developers let it?
Yep.
XCOM. XCOM could have fully done this if you could have teams of, like, 20 guys, or even just 12 guys.
Definitely.
You know, it would have been so...
Even just double the amount that you could have.
Yeah.
Then you could be like, well, these are the teams. And I like making decisions, so like, these guys are fighting, and then in a minute I'm like, oh dear, that unit needs to go back up that team, you know? It feels like a proper team war zone sort of thing.
Well, without getting too much into it, I just want to say in XCOM, you get situations where it's like, well, I don't really need like a dedicated medic. Or if I have a dedicated medic, I'm going to feel like I'm choosing between killing an enemy and using a medic. And it'd be nice to have more guys, so having one dedicated medic wouldn't, you know, bring the team down so much.
Right. Definitely.
Wouldn't feel like... Because in some situations, not always, sometimes a medic is a good thing. It's just, you know, sometimes you don't want that one person, and having 1 out of 12 be that person rather than 1 out of 6 is, you know, a big difference. And that's sort of the thing here. You run one mage this battle because you got RSL and you've got your mage and you've got Canopus.
Yep.
I mean, Archer.
Well, it's like I'm sort of making the decision, like I've got 2 mages. Do I need the extra like special damage, or do I need... Because your mages basically can't take hits. So do you take 1 or 2 mages? And then it's like, do you take 1 or 2 clerics? Because I have Quechua, so I kind of always have that priest to do a bit of healing, and I've got dual knights, so theoretically, what if I didn't take a cleric and I took another knight, you know?
Yeah.
And then I've got three knight healers and 2 clerics, even with Donatello on the bench. And that's the sort of level of, like, you customize, and it changes depending on each battle. If I didn't like how this was going, I could cancel this battle and go back into it. Oh, we probably didn't see that much last battle, but the ninja class has double attack, and that's what Vice just did.
Yeah, I did notice. Except he knocked him back, so he didn't get the second attack to hit.
You shouldn't combine knockback with that. It's pretty bad, but...
It's pretty funny.
So, that's one of the reasons ninjas are so powerful, just because they have so much upfront damage. Because you swing twice and you can deal 100 damage straight up. Not many units are going to be looking good after that. It basically gives them 1 turn to finish you before you knock them out and run away again.
Yeah.
So this dragon gets into our backline and messes us around too.
Yep.
But, so the fight goes on.
Spoilers,
RSL survives, or maybe she doesn't quite survive. And then I use the chariot to keep her alive, because I'm pretty keen on keeping her alive, because she hasn't... I want her to confront Leonard. Spoilers, we may run into Leonard at some point.
Spoilers, there is a plot to this game.
That's cool. See, look at
wow,
this.
51 damage.
That's why you need your mages. They will deal a lot of damage. But they're not sustainable over a fight. Not early on, anyway. So yeah, and wait until he gets like Augment Magic up to level 2 or whatever it is. Augment Dark. because then he'll be really powerful. And she heals the damn thing up.
It's okay, she's gonna get shot for that.
Yep, that's what you get. I actually am surprised. I thought RSL would do more damage. I think I need to probably go and look at weapons and stuff after this one and properly decide, you know, maybe upgrade some weapons. I need to do some shopping and stuff like that. So we're the same level as them, we're just getting a bit weaker overall.
Yeah.
Like you say, you can just tell in the damage rolls and stuff like that. But this, I mean, this actually isn't that difficult to fight, as you'll see. Like, short of keeping RSL alive.
Yeah. Or maybe they thought it'd be more challenging because you start with 3 people in the middle.
Yeah, and that part is definitely tough. Like, imagine they took out Quechua. Like, she would teleport away, but
that's 1 healer less you have.
Right. So it can snowball out of hand is the problem. Fortunately, I sort of got my guys and I was able to position the team well and get out there and have a go and keep them alive. And the other thing to remember too is that Butley, our main character, is a knight. He doesn't have to be a knight. He could be a ranger, he could be an archer, he could be a cleric, he could be anything. I just knew that we would probably want a knight, that's all.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of playing with foreknowledge, which makes a lot of these situations look a bit easier than they should be. And the reason I'm doing that, I get that it's like doesn't feel as natural when I say things like that, but honestly, I don't want to like spend these whole videos like failing over and over. I want to.
No, this isn't. You don't want to be like, oh, this is my first time playing. Oh no, I died.
Yeah, it's not that kind of game.
Yeah.
We're just here to have a chat and sort of enjoy the casual. Well, it's not casual. It's kind of involved, but you know, enjoy the game a bit and chat casually about other stuff. So it's more of a let's have a look and see than it is a proper guide and a let's play. But I like talking about the bits that are fun as well. That's why I keep narrating bits of the game, the challenges.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, no, this cut to the VR topic is not going to be as smooth as yesterday.
Well, actually, speaking of games being involved, I had a topic. I had some points on VR that we didn't really cover last time. Because we didn't really have a lot of time. Like, we didn't cover which games we play that could be improved or not with VR.
Right.
And something else I thought of is, why doesn't VR improve these gaming experiences? And that's because, you know, like, this is... I think it's interesting. Because I like to imagine, or like to talk about what it is that goes into a game that makes you want to play that game and that contributes to it.
Sure.
So... And one of the first things I thought of is I saw once a video of someone playing first-person Dark Souls. They had used a mod to move the camera inside the position of the player character. And I thought, that's a nightmare, because in Dark Souls, one of the most integral and core mechanics of the game is the ability to dodge and to, you know where you are, know where an attack is coming, and move out of the way of that attack. And that was what I was started to thinking of. For first-person shooters especially, and VR in general, is what is it that VR does that doesn't work? Like, why is it that it doesn't work with these games?
So in that situation, you're saying the Dark Souls player, he doesn't have the peripheral vision, he doesn't have the other senses of sound and touch to give him the feel of the surroundings, so if he wants to make a roll or a dive or a dodge, he doesn't... Even though he can turn and say look and see there's a wall next to him, he can't feel it. And like, he doesn't have all the senses. And that's what you mean when you're saying, well, in that situation, that's what VR isn't doing.
Yeah, the information required to play the game is obscured and brought, like, not... trying to think of the word.
Yeah.
It's lessened by the VR experience, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Like, it's taking away...
detriment?
Things, yeah, detriment's probably...
That's the word.
About right. It's taking away things that you know about, like, that you would have. Taking away senses is a big part of it, I think.
So for first-person shooters, where this comes in is aiming is one thing, but a lot of players of first-person shooters like to change their field of view, which is how wide the area is that you can see within. A lot of people do like to play with maxed field of view because it gives you sort of an edge over the default. Sometimes the default is better because, you know, it sort of focuses the area a bit better so you can see each thing in more clarity.
You can
but
make
it's sort of
a bit smoother.
Yeah, it's a bit of a choice. But changing that in VR, not having that option really, it's sort of distracting. And even in first-person shooters, the ability to dodge and evade enemies is a big deal. Being able to, step around, enemies shooting, strafing, and things like that.
Yep.
It's not as easy in VR.
Can I just cut in quickly?
Yeah.
I don't know if I screwed that up. Do I redo that turn? I'm not sure. I remember doing something. Do we go to chariot? Yes, we do. At this point, I could totally have stood behind Johannes and speared through him and hit Vice.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't trying to be like in character, I probably would have done that. Because Vice is the main target, and I wasn't going to deal a lot of damage to anyone. But I decided, no, we're trying to like personalize these people. I didn't want to stab Johannes while he's unconscious.
Ouch.
Okay, we need to like go back to talking about other things because this takes a few minutes. I have to re-roll the chariot a few times to keep her alive because Vice just deals so much damn damage.
So
continue.
Well, I guess then, what games have you played?
Let's go through games that we've played and talk about what virtual reality would do for them.
Well, do we want to talk about some of our favorites?
Sure.
I'll start with Warcraft 3. I don't think virtual reality would basically do anything for it.
No, it would just hands would replace the mouse, right? That's it.
Yeah, if you could even do that, if you had an interface to do that with, which could be cool, but I think that'd feel really out of place for a fantasy game. I definitely feel like a fantasy game, you should feel like, a general giving orders, like shouting, rather than using a touchscreen interface to direct things.
Right.
So
then what about, say, WoW in that vein? Would that be a better type of game? Maybe?
Maybe. Again, I think the problem about third-person games in general is you need a lot of perspective on what's going around you. Because in World of Warcraft, you do need to know who or what is, attacking you, or what's happening in the battle as of present. Is there a field of damage right next to you because you're in the middle of a raid and the boss has just dropped a big cyclone or something like that?
Yep.
You need to know that information. Are there reinforcements sneaking in from the side? And that sort of thing?
Yep.
So that's a question.
Help. And it has the same problem of first person, like, what happens when... It's fine if you're standing there doing something, but what if you have to move? What if you have to move forward? What if you have to run around a big creature? It doesn't really help you in that regard.
Here's a game where I think it actually could help maybe a little bit, and that's Payday. We've played a bit of Payday 2.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Again,
so, hear me out.
My only thing... No, go on.
Well, so what I was saying is one of the things that has frustrated us in the past was cracking safes, not safes, but like safety deposit boxes in a bank in that game. And usually you'll get row upon row of them from top to bottom. And you're expected to go through and pick locks of them manually or use a saw to dig through them, to chop them open. And that's a very sort of slow and sometimes finicky process because you can't target the one you're looking at sometimes. And that'd be something that VR could maybe improve. And
the reason I reckon Payday... No, you can finish, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead, I've sort of ran out.
The reason Payday would work, I believe, as opposed to any other game like it, is because it is, at its core, like a stealth game. And I find a lot of our trouble in Payday is like, so you get caught or you get spotted, and you can't understand why, because having the third-person perspective, it almost puts like a frame of like where you think you should be seen. And it's off-putting, whereas if you were first person, you would only see what you see. Beg your pardon?
Payday isn't first person, it's just...
Oh, yeah, but I still think like the first person, like looking into a screen, looking into a thing, you don't have that... Like, if you were virtual reality, you would expect to be caught out a lot more. Like,
well, I think I know what you mean, in a sense. I think one of the advantages virtual reality can bring to this is the ability to look around a corner and see a camera without being detected.
Right, that sort of thing.
as much as it might not be immersive, it should be like an element. It's a common thing in stealth games to be able to sort of check around a corner for what's coming, and to have some sort of a skill or a trick a player can do to check what's coming ahead without exposing themselves.
Right.
And that would really enhance Payday, being able to sort of just peek around a corner slightly, take a look, and then duck back.
That
without
is
having
exactly
to,
the point. Like, say you crouch down and you're hiding behind a bookcase or something, and it's like, okay, well, I'm kind of good, and then you creep forward and creep forward. Like, when you're looking through the screen, your view doesn't really change depending on your settings. You've always got that big, wide, first-person screen. Whereas when you're like virtual reality, well, you being crouched down, your limit of your vision would sort of shrink to match what your visibility would be. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just think it being a stealth game definitely lends itself more to virtual reality. That's a really good one that I hadn't thought about. And like you say, unlocking safes and stuff, it'd be good to actually be doing stuff with your hands rather than just holding a button or pressing a thing and waiting.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat if there was some sort of like, it doesn't have to be a big or deeply involved minigame, but just something where you do a few little hand gestures, like, and it looks like you're unlocking the safe.
Yeah,
that'd
maybe
be
if
cool.
it's like, use your left hand and you just have to like wave at the screen to represent like a dial, and you use your right hand. Like, one of them sort of, you know, they say like pat your head and rub your tummy, and some people can't do it with the two-hand thing. Like, something like that would be cool. And it doesn't mean you can't do it, it just means if you do it efficiently, you go quicker.
Or even a sort of, I don't know, pseudo QuickTime event where there are things you have to do, touch, while you're hacking, while you're cracking the safe, sorry.
Yep.
And like, if you fail to do it, it just goes at normal speed, but if you succeed, it goes faster. It'd be a little sort of way to make those things more engaging. Because one of the big problems of Payday is the longer you play it, the more the game becomes about just shooting things and doing things really quickly and super efficiently, rather than doing stealth and, you know, sneaking in and opening up safes and things like that. Like, the stealth element gets downplayed as you get more and more advanced.
I think it depends. Some of the missions these days, they like playing missions that end up shooters, I think.
Yeah.
Just in the game, you'll notice another cool thing about water magic. We used an AoE healing spell. Now, it was weak. It only healed for like 20-25 health, but it healed in like a cross and healed 3 units at once. Considering all our heals have been single target to this point. So, and this is why I chose water magic. So we have like Bouchard as like a high damage sort of, mage. High damage dark mage, and he's got a bit of poison, a bit of paralysis. Excuse me. But water mages are really good. I like to think of them as like sustainable mages. So
yeah,
if we've got a fight that's going to take a while, we can apply poison because it'll have time to tick and tick and tick. So they've got a poison move. They've got quench, which is a healing move, so it gives us an extra healer if they can't deal damage, and things like that. So in my opinion, the water mages are like sort of supporty kind of mages as well, with a bit of damage, and so that's why I went with them. And I don't know, I like it. It just brings real identity to each different type of mage. And having that extra healing element, like, we'll get to points where we don't bring both our mages, so we'll decide if we want pure damage or if we want that versatility of healing and poison and damage all in one.
You know, sorry, this is on the VR topic.
Yeah,
so
we can go back to that. I just wanted to mention that because it happened.
Well, I was going to say, you know what it is? What the point of VR is? VR gives you perspective. It puts you in a sort of a position where you can see things differently. But currently, video games present information and present things to look at just fine. And in many ways, video games aren't ready for the level of detail that VR could really add to. Like, you can't see finer details on an object that you're holding in your hands, usually in a video game.
Right.
At a meaningful level.
I think this is, when I brought up the topic, I think this is the path that I was musing in my mind when I thought it would be interesting to talk about. What we're trying to do with virtual reality, like you say, games have been made to be played a certain way. And what we're trying to do is take games that are made that particular way and make them fit virtual reality. We're trying to take games that are made a certain way and then sort of integrate virtual reality. but I don't think we're really changing the games enough to really, you know, like if we'd have known we had virtual reality when we were making a game from scratch, the way, like you say, the way information's presented, the way you had to do things, all that stuff, I think that would all be different. I just don't think we're almost not changing games enough to justify virtual reality.
I agree, we aren't changing games enough to justify it, but I don't think we can change games enough
I just
to
don't
justify it in its current state.
The best way yet. I think, you know, we're still sort of early in the whole idea of conceptualizing what we can do with virtual reality. The problem is there's so few, like, I don't know, virtual reality, there's not many games that we've seen or that are easily accessible that, you know,
I'd say
we can
that is
use
the
as
other
an
thing.
example.
If you make a game specifically for VR, then you lose a large potential audience because you're only marketing to people with VR.
Right, so if you make a hybrid, it's even worse.
Yeah, because then why do you buy the VR version?
Right.
Like, what are you getting out of it that you don't get in the normal version?
Yep.
So, yeah, in general, I think VR right now it's a gimmick. I don't think it's gonna last.
I think it will always be something someone works on, but
I think it'll be like 3D in movies. It'll show up every now and again.
Like, I wonder if gaming is the right platform.
Yeah, I agree. I think interactive movies. Have you seen on the internet? You can now get 3D movies, not 3D movies. Yeah, 3D like YouTube clips, basically, and it just plays the clip.
Yep.
And yeah, you can turn the camera around with your mouse and look around in a zone.
Oh yeah, I've seen
that sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be really cool for a movie. If you were in a movie and you had this VR headset, and the idea was you can look around and see what's going on in the movie, or you can stand back away from the action and watch it from a distance, or you can get right up in there. You know, that'd be a really cool thing.
I imagine, say, for like I don't know, like, say the image in my head is you're wearing the headset and you're laying down in your bed and you can watch a movie like that in 3D. Like, that would be cool. And then from there, like, okay, so you want to read, or you just lay down and you just read. And because, you know, you can do that, you can read definitely now, but you have to like hold your hands up the whole time to like turn pages, whereas you can just have like, say, a little clicker or something in your hand and you can just lay down and just,
I like it.
lazy. But then, like, imagine business planning. So imagine you're sitting at your work desk with a VR headset on and you don't have a computer in front of you, and you like, you can like work, you can like read documents, you can file things, you can like move things around, like in a James Bond film where they're zipping shit around on the screen, showing info and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can see applications for VR. I just don't know if gaming is the best one to really get involved in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sort of awkward because gaming is a proactive medium.
Yep.
You do stuff in gaming. You don't look at stuff per se. And when you do look at stuff, you look at it in a very picturesque way.
Well, I wonder if gaming is like the next step. You know, we should have done some of these more simple sciences of stationary VR, and then we should have moved on. Gaming's trying to like get 5 steps ahead of the curve, but we need those first 5 steps before it's actually any good.
But you know what I mean, right? When you look at a thing in a game, when you're playing a game and you see this really like beautiful landscape or something, and you stop to look at it for a moment, VR wouldn't make that beautiful landscape any more fulfilling than, you know,
a first-person perspective.
Yeah, and it's not the difference between a painting of a landscape and experiencing the landscape in real life. Because experiencing the landscape in the real life is you've got the sense, you've got the sound, you've got the entire atmosphere of that place all around you.
Yep.
And VR doesn't provide an atmosphere. It just makes things look, you know, closer and around you rather than on a screen. And that doesn't really do anything for gaming, I don't think.
Not as in any way we've figured out yet.
Yeah, sure, you can keep saying that, but yeah.
I'm just optimistic for technology.
Yeah.
I'm equally cynical and optimistic for technology.
Alright.
So you can see the map. Vice said that we are cut off, and he's not wrong. We can only go south. You might remember we've been to Time Math Hill before. What did we do there? I can't remember. But we've been down this way before. notice our title on the top right. We've got a new title, Man of Proven Worth. I haven't looked at that yet in-game, but I should do, and I believe that's because we proved to RSL that we didn't slaughter the people at Balma Musa. So if we hadn't A, saved her, beaten her in combat, B, saved her on multiple, like, from that first guy, and then C, kept her alive during the battle with Vice, we wouldn't have got this. And so it's a optional title. We might never have gotten that. So just another little small thing in the game. There's bits and pieces for doing certain things. It's good. You build up a lot of titles over time. I still like the world view. And anyway, next time we plow on south, we're trying to like fight our way to the coast, I believe. That's our next move.
Okay.
And that'll be next time. So thanks everyone for joining in. Sorry for the voices again. And we will catch you next time.
Never sorry. See ya.
Bye.